Hey guys, I thought we could maybe do the first question together here on worksheet 7.9, just so you have an understanding of what you're expected to do on this practice sheet. Okay, so let's do the first one. Here's our reaction again: nitrogen gas plus hydrogen gas yielding ammonia. This is a thermochemical equation with a delta H of negative 92.1 kilojoules. That just means it is exothermic, right? So that means that we could consider this 92.1 kilojoules as a product in the reaction. So let's talk about how the reversible reaction gets stressed and how the equilibrium would shift to reestablish that balance. Okay, so if we add nitrogen gas, what we're doing here is stressing the reaction toward the reactants. That means that our shift is going to be to the right to rebalance the scale. Okay, so what these things are over here is the concentrations or the amounts of the chemicals present in the reaction. So the nitrogen, yeah, we're adding nitrogen, which does increase the amount of nitrogen, but it gets used up in a hurry. So, you know, this is kind of a tough one. So I usually just kind of scratch that because it goes up and down at the same time, actually. So forget about that one. Hydrogen, on the other hand, will get gobbled up by the incoming nitrogen, and so its concentration will go down as it's used up along with that nitrogen to make our ammonia, which the concentration goes up. Okay, so if we then move to the next one where we're taking hydrogen away from the reaction, we're stressing in this direction toward the product, and so our equilibrium shift will be to the left as we try to reestablish that balance. Here, when we take hydrogen away, that means that the nitrogen its concentration is actually going to go up, not because we're adding more nitrogen, just because it's not going to be used with the hydrogen anymore because we've removed the hydrogen. So the nitrogen concentration, we're going to say, goes up. Hydrogen, we're going to kind of treat that the same as we did nitrogen up here. And that means that the amount of ammonia that's getting made is actually going down as well because we have taken away the reactant that is necessary to make that product. All right, so on to the next one here. When we add ammonia to the mix here, that means we're stressing the reaction toward the product side, which means we're going to shift toward the reactants. That means that our amount of our amount of nitrogen is going to start to go down as it gets used. Sorry, I'm distracted. Our amount of nitrogen is gonna go up as the reactant, as the product starts turning back into its reactants, and that's same for hydrogen. And ammonia, we're just gonna treat the same as we treated hydrogen and nitrogen up here. Okay, now we're increasing the temperature, right? So temperature in an exothermic reaction is kind of like a product. So when we increase the temperature, we are stressing toward the product, which is because it's an exothermic reaction, which means we need to shift our equilibrium to the left. That means the same thing for all of these guys. We are going to make more nitrogen, more hydrogen as ammonia decomposes back into its elements, and that means that the amount of ammonia goes down. Okay, and then finally, increase in pressure and volume. So as we increase the pressure, remember that means that we are going to push toward the side of the reaction with fewer moles, and that means that we're going to shift to the right because here we have 2 moles of ammonia compared to 4 total moles of gas on the reactant side. So if we're shifting to the right, that means nitrogen concentration goes down, hydrogen concentration goes down, ammonia concentration goes up. Increase in volume, remember, is the same as a decrease in pressure, so we're going to treat that kind of the same way. So if we increase the volume, we're going to push the reaction toward the side with more moles, which is a shift to the left, considering that our reaction has, again, 4 moles on the reactant side and 2 moles on the product side. That means if we're shifting to the left toward the reactants, we are going to have more nitrogen, more hydrogen, and those things increase because the amount of ammonia is decreasing in order to decompose into those 2 gases. Okay, so that's how you do those things. All right, guys, hope that helps you get a good start on this practice worksheet.